held them in the jugular. But at this stage now, what he is doing right now is funding a faction, a dissident faction, and of course against the so-called elected faction arising from the recently held convention in Ibadan. And that aside, why I don't empathize with them is that, yes, the statement Turaki made is a statement of fact, but they, both in the PDP as well, those of them still remaining, they are part of the problem of the threat to our democracy. If they had modeled the pattern of internal democracy within the party structure, all the politicians, whether PDP, APC, ABGA, Labour Party, they've been part of level because of selfishness, because of pride and all that. It's taking, and Nigerians are going to be the biggest victims. Now, why do I say it? Those of you who allow yourself to be bought over with 10,000, 5,000, they will print placards you will hold, you'll be reading out or shouting out scripts that you've been told to shout out. And I pity us, I pity you. Because you see, the change we crave for must start from within us. Well, first of all, refuse their inducement to do something that is unethical, something that is not right with the situation we are facing. How can they give people that are stealing your money, or people that are making sure we don't have power, they will tell you, come and campaign, come and do flagship campaign, we'll give you 10,000 against maybe BEDC, for example, or against the federal government, or against a body that could rectify the situation. The situation is bad. Mr. President is keeping too quiet for too long.
Now, I want to ask you, though, when you said, when we're kind of aligning with what Turaki said, is the fall of the PDP the fall of democracy? Because that's what it seems. All the while people are talking about democracy, so to speak. And now Turaki is speaking because of this. Let me say little drama. Because there's so much drama in the country already.
Threats. I mean, we needed somebody to talk. There's been threats to our democracy. A threat to the judiciary, when you use the judiciary to manipulate the system, is a threat to democracy. It is only in Nigeria that you see that 64.8% of our elected office holders coming through the court, not naturally winning through the ballot box from the electorate. They're coming through the courts. So with litigations here and there, it's a shame that we cannot have at least 95% of our elected officers coming in through the will of the people. Whether you rig the election, because elections are rigged everywhere in the world, whether you rig the elections or not, but let it be that the votes did count. Moving forward, we are faced with a very precarious situation because we cannot understand why there's much impunity in the land, because the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary have refused to do their jobs. They are supposed to be checks and balances on each other. That is the ethos and ethics of democracy that we learned in school, governance and government. But they don't do that. Instead, the executive have manipulated the legislature and judiciary to become pawns in that chessboard, and they have been co-collaborators in the killing of the Nigerian nationhood.
All right, there's another story that you reacted to, and that's the story about Nigeria. Where it was said that Nigeria's external reserve rises to $46 billion, highest in 7 years. We know that the president has not been in the country for close to 7 years, Mr. Meshack. But when I said that, it looks like the president is indeed the man for the economics.
Francis, yes, I have to counter because I need to understand. This year, we have borrowed external loans 3 times. Most recent, seeking with a National Assembly that does not consider deliberations before approval. We borrowed 1.2 billion or so dollars. We borrowed 125. I mean, almost so 400, 500 billion. So what
even America borrows. Yeah.
I'm coming. You cannot have foreign reserves, and you are borrowing for ecstasy.
Who said ecstasy?
What are the reasons for the borrowing? Have we been able to nip insecurity in the board? No. If we're borrowing to fight insecurity, to have drones, look at the terrorists, they have more firepower than us. If we're borrowing to fight that, fine. If we're borrowing to have the kind of equipment the Americans use to come and rescue their journalist, citizen who is a journalist right there in the forest, fine. We don't have that. We don't do that. If we're borrowing to conceptualize and standard of education and infrastructure to build our roads, we don't do that. Then we borrow for lavish lifestyle of our political
well, I'm talking about economics now. If you look at the economics, he has secured investment.
Where are the investments been reflected?
From Germany,
Name the investment.
Name the investment. He has renewed interest for Nigerian businesses from Shell.
Yes, is Shell back?
Siemens.
Are they back?
Microsoft.
Nobody can come where insecurity thrives. Nobody can come. Recently, Brigadier General lost his life. Kebbi State, 25 students lost their lives were kidnapped alongside the principal. School yesterday. So
you are saying that no matter the initiative, the economics will not add up because of the insecurity in Nigeria?
That is one. That is the major reason investors cannot come in. And besides that, most of these things are political narrative. I don't believe anything politicians tell me unless I see it start happening, because they have been serial liars among the political elites. So most things they tell you is for political aggrandizement.
They just
to massage our yes. And 90% of the things they say. So take whatever they say with a pinch of salt. Don't take it hook, line, and sinker like Ganda, spread the narrative like it's the truth. It's never the truth until we see the grounded evidence.
All right, let's look at the stories making the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper as well this morning. Daily Sun, that's the next paper to look at. The big headline: show of force at PDP headquarters. That's the big headline on the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Show of force at PDP headquarters. You always find that story thriving around the front pages this morning. And then just close to the masthead of the Daily Sun newspaper, Khan welcomes U.S. intention to help Nigeria end killings in security. Okay, let's go to the bottom strip of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Blame FG if our union embarks on indefinite strike. This coming from ASU. Blame the federal government, not us, says ASU. And the writer says, warns of another nationwide varsity shutdown as negotiation stalls. That's on page 29. And Mesha Koza might say, indeed, your economics you've been applauding. Why are universities going on strike? Maybe I'll have other counter argument in support of the president as part of my job description. Look at other stories here making it downstrip. Kebbi school abduction. One schoolgirl escapes. The writer, UNICEF, Nance, Remi Tinubu condemned attack. COAS orders troops to intensify rescue operation. COAS orders troops to intensify rescue operation. That's on page 4 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Rep reaffirm commitment to acceptable constitutional reforms on page 29. And Beavers has ended era of multiple voting identity fraud, coming from the INEC chairman on page 30. We'll say let time tell. We want to find out if Beavers will work during 2027 elections. Another story that I almost missed on the front page of the Daily Sun, it's another expose. It says, exposed how Nestle feeds Nigerian babies more sugar than rest of the world. No wonder our babies are very hyperactive. Let's get back to the studio and have a conversation with Engineer Meshach Ozar again. I'm sure you're trying to get out facts. So as far as these stories are concerned.
I don't need facts. I was just trying to say the facts are with us already.
Now,
Yeah.
where do I start from? We've spoken so much about the show of force at PDP headquarters. ASU has spoken. Blame the federal government if our union embarks on indefinite strike. And as the church say,
Yeah, that's a good one from us, no doubt. But it's a shame that the fight they're fighting, it's been a continuous one. In our university days in the 90s, this fight has been there. Abacha must go 92, 93, 94. ASU has continuously had rancors with the government, and the government has not been sincere in its part of keeping to agreements that have been reached. And because some of the leadership of ASU have compromised on the negotiation table, and when their personal needs are satisfied, they forget the collective needs of the lecturers. That's a major reason. The government has been, like I said, they've always been serial liars in policy implementation. The governments and agents of government have not told us the truth about the relationship with ASU. ASU itself have not told us the truth. But the reason I don't empathize with them, you see, yes, I will tell you. The reason I don't empathize with ASU is the fact that the problems of Nigeria today are premised on the kind of leadership that ASU, some of their professors who have been INEC chairman and resident electoral of returning officers in states have helped to rig elections and get into power in collusion with their local government returning officers and all that, and they were the people that made the pronouncement. They know they did it. A lot of them connive, but with due respect to except one, I think the vice chancellor of the female vice chancellor of Futo or so.
Area State.
Yes, we can't remember the school that was supposed to, they wanted to compromise, and she stood her ground. So ASUU, you are sowing the seed that you planted by collusion. To help in the planting bad leadership in this country. Because if you had shown some level of etiquette and professionalism, some of these things would not have happened. You know Nigerian leaders are lying, and you colluded with them to continue to take power away from the will of the people. But moving forward, I think it's time to settle this once and for all, and that's why we have the proliferation. Another problem: those private universities will continue to see that ASUU continues to have a problem with the federal government, because they use some of their lecturers of government universities as part-time lecturers in their universities.
Basically, yes.
And it's just like people that import generators will continue to make sure that sabotage the power sector. They help in sabotaging the power sector so that Nigerians can never have steady light, and generator business will continue to boom.
This story just came to mind again. I almost made it look like a joke, but it's a serious matter. Exposed how Nestle feeds Nigerian babies more sugar than the rest of the world. You would have expected, what I expect to see on this story is how Nigeria has, brought a stop of Nestle, until Nestle apologizes, even makes, compensation for this wrongdoing, because sugar, too much of sugar, is not good for anybody, even babies as well. And if the rest of the world is getting quality from Nestle, then why is Nigeria not getting that kind of quality? Why is Nigeria taken as a joke by all these international organizations?
We took ourselves as a joke. We've taken ourselves as jokes. I mean, Nigeria is a scam in the eyes of the international community, because we as a people, we have not shown the international community that we truly love ourselves and we stand for one. Which nation? Nigeria cannot stand for you as a citizen of this country, and that is how bad it is. When your country cannot stand for you, look at how our citizens are being maltreated and molested all over the world, and the government is not really putting anything in place or thinking on how to look into the situation of citizen rights and all that. There's no love. So I think basically that's just
the problem.
That's the problem.
All right, Kebbi school abduction. One schoolgirl escapes. In fact, I was talking to the presentation director this morning, and she mentioned that. I said I've not seen that on the papers, so I've not confirmed that one of the girls escaped. I'm glad for her, but how about the 24 others, or 25 others, as the case may be? UNICEF, Nant, Remi Tinubu condemns attack. COS orders troops to intensify rescue operation. Now, if the chief of army staff is saying this, he should be saying more as regards the murder, the blatant murder of the Brigadier General.
I ask this fundamental question. Is it that we don't have an Air Force helicopter or police helicopter? The Lake Chad Basin, the Sambisa Forest Axis we're talking about, it is not a dense forest, though.
Not like the southern forest that we imagine, where
have
there are trees. They're almost like desert.
They're almost like desert. The south is grassland. It's a mangrove. And then you say, we have canopies, so it's difficult, we can hide. But there, and you will see the huts these bandits built. But you see, somebody is not telling somebody the truth. Because a certain general whose life was under threat was able to get signals to you, the army command, and told you his nautical location. And before you know, expecting a reaction from his friends, and then sadly, Boko Haram were the people, the terrorists were the people that came first. So, are we saying that there are people that sell out information? Are we saying the Boko Haram have better electronic gadgets that they can use to track signals and all that? But we leave everything for God. It's an unfortunate situation.
Okay, well, talking about leaving it for God, we'll look at other papers. There's one story that looks like, is it God trying to take action, or maybe an antichrist trying to take action? Okay. But time will tell. We'll look at other papers. We have over 3 more papers to go, and we'll just look at them one after the other. The New Telegraph next this morning on paper review. The New Telegraph says Mohammed Makinde Wike supremacy battle puts PDP on edge. That's the big story on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper this morning. And we have other stories here thriving at the front page. Kidnap, Kebbi schoolgirls. Sources hint kidnap success on alleged failure to act on intelligence. I believe so, by the way. On the top strip, auto parts. Nigeria tops Africa's imports. Spend 426 billion naira in 6 months. I told you that when it comes to economics, looks like a lot is going on. Then Tinubu to attend G20 summit in South Africa. AU meeting in Angola. Says Agbese's death performed less to media industry, or profound loss to media industry. I couldn't see this clearly. I apologize for that. We have other stories here. Cardoso, Nigeria's foreign reserves record 7-year high to $46.7 billion. A story that Engineer Mesha Kosa doesn't fancy. ASU made down tools again, places members on red alert. We've looked at that. For the 4 reps, right, Tinubu want Nnamdi Kanu released, seek political solution. We've also talked about that story as well. INEC has rejected request to shift PDP's convention. That's on page 2 and 7. We looked at that earlier on. Trump welcomed Saudi's crown prince to White House. It was quite a very respectful meeting. Then let's get down to the bottom strip. Khan agrees with Trump on targeted killings in Nigeria. This is where I was trying to say or juxtapose the coming of God to save Nigeria, or maybe the Antichrist to save Nigeria. Let's get back to the studio. Khan agrees with Trump on targeted killings in Nigeria. Engineer Mesha.
It's over with politics for Khan. They know they can't deny the fact that no genocide. You see, the leadership.
Khan has been very vocal about this. He said it's genocide. Ashimolowo said, recently that in fact
Ashimolowo is not Khan.
He defined what
Khan
genocide
as a leadership. They have been wavy, but it's individual pastors that have come out to say, yes, there's genocide. Genocide have been trying to be political, but now they know they can't run. The world is seeing everything, and now genocide is getting worse.
Is there a genocide in Nigeria?
Oh my God. If there's anything more than this, what is happening in Nigeria is not far from what happened during the Civil War, where there was systematic killing of a certain ethnic group or a certain religious group. I mean, it happened prior to the Civil War.
The 25 girls who were kidnapped, were they Christians?
They didn't have to be Christians. Those are pawns. Those are negotiating tools for the terrorists. You have to understand what a guerrilla warfare is like this, and that's what you're saying. They must have collateral. Those people are collateral damages. They can go. They can be expendable. They are used as tools for negotiation, and that is why they did what they did. If the government had been up to its responsibility, look, the last 48 hours, they've been kidnappings in Niger State, Kebbi, and Sokoto State. Niger State is within the and Kogi State, even 4 states. Within the interland, it's not in the periphery of the Lake Chad region. How did these guys move through the border? How did these guys move through the different checkpoints, then get into Niger State? And the kidnappings were done simultaneously in bushes within these places. That means they have segmented splinter groups of terrorists. We're fighting a guerrilla warfare, and the government is losing track. Let me tell you something about guerrilla warfare. They continue to multiply. They continue to spread. They're like when you just drop sugar or honey, or just finish eating your bone and just throw it carelessly. Before you know, ants 10, 5, 20 ants gather. Go give it 5 hours, 10 hours. There will be more than 100. That is the way guerrilla warfare is. When you don't take it seriously, the more listen. Ignorant people are easier to manipulate. People that are not informed. We have a lot of ignorant people amongst the terrorists, uneducated people. They don't have anything to lose. They have been whitewashed, they've been brainwashed. So that's why you see that the splinter groups are multiplying every day. And when they see that there's power in ransom money, can you see most of the videos, they don't even know what to do with money, they'll be playing with it. They are satisfied with the coloration. They're satisfied with it.
Let's get down to what's going to happen very soon.
Like what?
Nicki Minaj has come to testify about the killings in Nigeria. I wonder if she has been in Nigeria, but she said she spoke profoundly against what she described as Christian genocide in Nigeria. I saw a tweet from a northern brother who was saying that he will continue to curse Nicki Minaj at the end of his life, and I almost empathize with him because some of our brothers in the northern region feel that this attack is against them and not against bandits. I'm headed somewhere. Tomorrow, Thursday, there shall be a meeting in the United States of America where several rep members shall meet and some testifiers shall converge and they shall speak, and then America shall decide if indeed to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, otherwise called CPC.
Nigeria
Should that happen, Engineer Meshack Osa?
Yes, please. It should happen if the evidence. Let me tell you something. Lucy, it will shock you to know that the Americans and the Arabs have more information, especially the Americans, about what is happening in Nigeria than the Nigerian government. It took the Americans 6 hours to infiltrate into our airspace, neutralize kidnappers, rescue the 27-year-old journalist, and our government did not know. High tech, when the drones were flying, even when the chopper was flying, soundproof, our government did not know. Our radar could not pick them up. Now, the government, Americans are not coming. Tomorrow's discourse is not going to be levied on theorists. They are going to be practical evidence because they have satellites and they have tracked a lot of communication that is within evidence. So it is not going to come as a shock to me when the evidence becomes overwhelming and they act. Yes. Now, besides all that, Nigerians in diaspora have evidences. They have relations that have been maimed and killed every day in Nigeria. The social media has made the world a global space. I mean, it's no longer. It's one small room now. So we can share videos, we can share experiences. So that adds up. The United States, the UAE released names of people that are sponsoring Boko Haram because their names were the men of Timber caliber. The matter died in natural death. So what are we talking about? The Americans, if the savoring, I don't want my children to suffer. I don't want the next generation to suffer.
I don't want my children to suffer. That's why this is a very serious conversation.
Yeah. So what I am saying is this. If what Americans is going to do is going to bring restoration of peace to this country, these guys are moving slowly. They will infiltrate into every nook and cranny.
You just said the key word. If it's going to bring, I take on the word if indeed.
Yes, please.
America, should they come to a sovereign country?
Sovereignty,
to indeed take over the sovereign country, because we have the UN supposedly.
No,
why America? Who made America this police of the world?
Let me tell you something. There are treaties that were signed, peace treaties, security treaties that have been signed. Now, and it's because of you, the Human Rights Charter on something of livelihood declares that external nations can render aid in situations where there's sectional genocide or where some people are thought to be the risk of losing their identity and lives, and that's what's happening in Nigeria. Now, you wouldn't tell me if you have you were somewhere and your brothers have been oppressed or something, you wouldn't want to react. But that is on a very theoretical mode. The reality on the ground is that the Americans, they have the right to come and help a nation. They have the right to come, and they are the number one security country in the world whose main responsibility within the UN Charter as a member of the United Nations Security Council is to provide and support with security and security aids and military assistance as the case may need to any member of the United Nations who whose citizens are at risk. Terrorism is a major risk. And this is not a narrative like we are saying with Kanu Nwankwo, but this is a realistic implosion of leadership in the country that has attracted the terrorists who have.
But Meshack, what I'm gathering here, there's not any single thing that says external. But what we have here is, show humanitarian assistance or support, and that should have been what we expect America to show at this point. Why police Nigeria? Now, if we want to talk about America, though, let's go back into the things America has done in the past. And I'm going to take my time, if I'm given the permission from my producers, to go through some things America has done in the past to save countries that are going through crisis, so to speak. We have Libya, 2011.
Yes.
Gaddafi. We knew how that story went. How Obama later said it was the worst mistake of American history. We even heard the conversations about how the former Libyan president, the slain Libyan president, Saddam Hussein, was trying to make gold, the central figure. Okay, where we had Gaddafi, sorry,
Saddam Hussein,
Gaddafi rather, right? Saying that he was going to turn gold to the central trading currency, so that we can do trading in that means. But somehow, before he could say Jack Ronson,
I knew we were going to do that.
Afghanistan, war against terror. How did that turn out? We can keep sliding. Vietnam. Remember Agent Orange, 1955,
Yes.
1975.
So what are you
America has never gone to any country to save that country, and the country remains safe.
Okay.
Should Nigeria indeed be invaded by these same Americans?
Why you refuse to call it invasion?
It's an invasion because Nigeria is a sovereign state.
Well,
Nigeria government has not agreed.
I'm coming. What do you choose? I'm coming.
Affirmative.
I'm coming. No. What do you choose if given the option?
I choose what is right. So I'm trying to figure out what's
What
right.
I'm asking you,
That
what is
conversation.
right? What is right? It is not. I mean, the African Union, the European Union is looking at is looking. Listen, when the international community, America is not going to decide unilaterally that. Let me tell you something. Take a process. It will equally go to the United Nations Security Council, and there will be a vote voice, and that is where the situation. If the European Union with some of these countries are agreeing in terms that Christians are at risk, and look, because of the vast human resources in Nigeria and human capital, no country wants Nigeria to go to war with itself, and we're at war with ourselves. If there's they don't see the terrorists are not Nigerians. Majority of them are not Nigerians. Understand that? But why are they coming to her? Because our government have been overwhelmed, both in intelligence and in managing the security crisis, and that is where it befalls us. And the government has to understand that the help at this time is necessary because these guys are coming in droves from the Sahel, and of course the different factions of terrorists are coming to Nigeria. They look at Nigeria as a safe haven. No country is as rich as Nigeria in the Sahel region. I mean, where citizens can pay the kind of ransom they get here. So they are all migrating. Oh, ransom has become big business. The Americans they have the intelligence. And why is it going to be possible? The Sambisa forest is the whole of the south, and the southeast does not stick over the Sambisa forest. So it's a large expanse of land. Yeah. And of course, majority of those land are not under habitation. So there are not going to be much collateral damage. The way Afghanistan scenario is quite different. Iraqi scenario is quite different. Those scenarios are different.
Gaddafi scenario is quite different.
Yes.
They said they were going to save Libya. What has Libya turned out to be? A place of slave trade, a place of suffering. Nigerians even go there and are butchered in Libya. It wasn't happening during the time of Gaddafi.
Yeah.
The demon. Now they are angels in Libya.
I think we should
that right
this
now.
discussion, because of time constraints, this discussion we'll put it for faculty. We'll put it for faculty.
Okay, so this is letting you know that if we have a faculty program on Delta Television, we shall indeed have this conversation. Maybe we shall get Ejina Meshach and other wonderful conversationists to have this one conversation. Well, that's all we shall look at on paper review. Thank you so much, Engineer.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always a privilege.
Yeah.
We've had a very robust conversation. Next, we shall see how social media helps. Is it worth it after all? Some of these stories we're talking about, we found via social media. And sometimes we get disinformation also on the same social media. So what's next as Street Talk? Social media, is it worth it after all? Stay with us on Where His Money Right.
Jay, make it juicy.
Some say that social media is the greatest tool of our time, while some others believe that it's a major distraction from business and connection to entertainment and misinterpretation. To be honest, social media has actually changed how we live. But is it really worth it or a waste of time? Good morning, Nigeria. You're welcome to Street Talk on Delta Television, the People's Pride. My name is Rejoice Anusi, and today we are hitting the streets of Asaba to find out if social media is really worth it or a waste of time. Let's go. Okay, Ma, do you think that social media has actually impacted the society positively or negatively, and why?
Okay, if I'm to say, I would say that social media has really affected the public, because many people get to learn what they don't supposed to, like children now, they see what they don't supposed to see. But in terms of business, it's okay. It has imparted a lot to people because many people advertise their business through social media. Many people sell. Some people don't even have physical shop anymore. It's through social media that they do their business. So based on human being like children, they see what they don't supposed to see online. So if there is a way it can be say that underage should not handle phone, I think it will be better.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So do you think that people spend more time on social media than engaging in real life situations with real life people?
As it stands now, I think people spend more time in social media more than what they're supposed to do, because social media becoming something else. Understand that maybe you see the way some are even doing in social media, that will even motivate you that I want to do such a thing like this, and you don't know how the person do that thing before you got into that social media. So let me just say social media has spoiled so many of our youth and so many of our guests.
So what do you think about also like the positive side of social media? You know, some people advertise their businesses on social media. Don't you think it's actually still worth it?
Well, in the other side, social media is good, but in the other side, some people are making it to be bad for us. Understand? There are some things that we don't need to show in the social media, but now some are even doing it in the social media, which is not good, and it's affecting some of our youth and I guess.
So they should create a balance. That's right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, sir, in this modern age, do you think social media is actually worth it or a waste of time?
No, it's not a waste of time. It's worth it. But unfortunately, social media has been abused. The reason it has been abused is that it's an all-common affair, because sometimes I see a lot of persons who don't really understand the importance of social media, dissemination of information at a very quick speed. So when you say an information, maybe on WhatsApp, for example, somebody sends it to you, say forward, and you are quick to forward without investigating whether that thing is true or not. So as a result of that, there are a lot of persons who, because of what they are likely to gain from maybe YouTube and all that, creation of content, they abuse some persons, create unnecessary tension in the society, and send to somebody, and the person, instead of digesting it to see the veracity of such information, he or she forwards to somebody else, thereby spreading falsehood, instead of actually giving information that are credible enough to actually enhance the livelihood of individuals around the society.
That's so true, sir. So talking about social media being a distraction, do you think there is a way people can use social media without allowing it to be a distraction?
Yeah, there are so many ways. One of the ways is that the people that are given to promoting social media should also once in a while embark on the education of the people that actually use social media. What kind of education? Letting them know there are a lot of things to gain from social media. If, for example, you are given to online marketing, and somebody tells you how to do it, even at pro bono, that is free of charge, and you take advantage of that, you see some youth will be getting jobs without really moving about with their certificate. Somebody should do that. And if you also have a child or you have children that are so young, you don't expose them to social media, because social media is just like a village without door. Anybody can enter and come out, and when you go without restriction, you may likely visit a village and you find pornography and all that, and somebody will step into such things, and they begin to grow with that notion that that is the way of life, in which case the person may grow becoming a nuisance. Therefore, parents should do enough to actually restrict their children from getting telephones until at a certain stage, even though we cannot control them when they get to school. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, has social media actually helped you in any meaningful way, maybe business-wise or connection?
Yeah. Social media have helped me in promoting my business, and also keeping up with friends and loved ones as well. So
But
I think it has helped.
Okay. So do you think, because social media also comes with distraction, to be very honest, it comes with distraction. How do you think people can use social media without, allowing it to be a distraction to them, especially like younger ones?
Yeah, the younger generation, I believe social media have created a lot of jobs. Instead of allowing it to distract you, you can just use it to create job for yourself, and equally use it to promote your business. Then you can use it to reach your loved ones and I think those are the benefits of the social media.
So yeah, so social media is actually worth it, but we should at least create a balance, right?
Yes, we should create a balance on it.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So I want to ask you, social media, comes with distractions, right? How are you able to use social media without, being distracted?
Like I'm being distracted with the social media. Normally, I'm not really distracted with the social media because I don't even care about social media. I don't even put all my effort, my time like in social media. If there's any price, I even give you like now. Or more. I don't even flash my phone. You don't have to just flash your phone or just delete everything. How much do they pay? Money day. That's the money day for.
Calm down. So do you think, talking about, minus the distractions, there are opportunities on social media, and that's so true. There are connections. So do you think it's not worth it, or you can decide, forget about the opportunities, the connections, I can let go of my social media account?
Who will that opportunity help? I don't even believe all that social media stuff help me. Who care about beside all this kind of stuff?
It's not worth it for you, right?
No, it's not worth it.
All right, thank you.
But if you give me any amount, now I come my phone, you help me flash out. I delete everything was wipe out.
Nice. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So do you think that social media is actually worth it? Social media has impacted both negatively and positively. Do you think it's worth it or a waste of time?
Actually, I don't do social media. Really? Yeah.
That's so, I don't want to say it's so weird. How do you do, connecting with people, especially people who might not be around you at the moment?
I don't even want to have any friends, man. Yeah, I live my life single.
So you can let go of social media?
I like
private. You can delete all your accounts?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I love private.
Wow. Okay, what would you say to those people who want to make good use of social media, but the distractions? How do you think they can make good use of social media without being distracted?
Maybe it's their destiny to do social media. Some people have more in social media than do social media because of the money. That's what some people do with social media. But for me, I don't like social media.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. The red flag. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so you know that social media has the good side and bad side. People use it for like businesses, connections. What do you think about that? Do you think it's actually worth it, or maybe because of the distractions that is a waste of time?
Although it really worth it, because a lot of things have been going on. At least through that social media, we can be able to know the things that is going on in the country and to fix out things. At least we still have people that are there, that have already been there, that can help us to speak to the people. So with this social media and even the things that are happening in this country, in this economy, at least with that social media, we can be able to fix them out.
So you think it's actually worth it, right?
Yes.
So what's your advice to people who, might be making good use of social media, but because of the distractions, how do you think people can really make good use of social media without, allowing it to be a distraction to them?
Let me just say, you will listen. When you listen, you will know before you judge. At least you listen to what people say on your own. There is something that will speak to you. You will know that of the truth. This thing is true. Yes, at least you will know that you will join.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Ma, do you think social media is actually worth it, or maybe because of the distractions, like it's not worth it? Is it a waste of time, or do you think there are opportunities that people can grab with social media?
It's not a distraction anyway. It depends on what is teaching or what is presenting. Because I know in social media people can learn something like skills. People can be educated on their health, even dietary. So it's not a distraction. It depends on what the person is watching in the social media. After all, social media is not the one that is controlling you. You are the one that is controlling the social media. So go for what you want and get it.
So what's your advice to like the younger generation who might be distracted with social media? What's your advice to them?
My advice is that they should not allow themselves to be watching what they are not supposed to watch. They have to choose something that will make them to be profitable. and make them to advance so that they will learn what they are supposed to learn that will help them in life. That's my advice to them.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. So do you think that social media has had a negative or positive impact on the society?
No, it's not negative. It don't have negative.
So you think positive impact?
Yeah.
Like how?
It give us influence to learn more.
Yeah. So what would you say about people who, make use of social media and it's kind of like a distraction to them? How do you think people can use social media?
Tender age, they are not
even those who are adults get distracted.
Yeah, adults, they're supposed to use social media so that they will influence their brain, everything.
So you think, it has made a positive impact, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
So do you think social media has actually been a distraction, or has it helped people, with their businesses and connections?
Yeah, it has been a distraction, but also helped a lot. Like it has been a great advantage to us, because me as a student right now, some assignments, like if you not come online like this now, some assignments they will graduate and leave you. So that's it. And some business you want to do, like just clothes vendors and everything, they help them to some of the political things that happen in the countries, and without them we cannot hear news. So definitely it has helped. It has impacted more in our society than destroying it.
Okay, so how do you think people can use social media without being distracted?
They can actually use social media once you are determined and focused. There's nothing that can distract you actually, except you open your heart to it that will distract you. So
one more question for you: would you delete all your social media accounts for any reason?
No, it's not possible. Except otherwise, except it's not useful, and if it's not useful, I can delete it. But if it's very useful, no, I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure I can.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
So, do you think social media is a waste of time, or is it worth it?
Yeah, let me see. Social media is a waste of time, and also we also have some good things they have done for people, especially me.
Can you share like how it has helped you, maybe business-wise or connection?
Okay, I'm a content creator and also into movie and all that. Yeah, so it actually helped me to connect with people I know that if I sit down at home, I cannot ever meet them. Yeah, so that is it.
So what is your, advice to people who are, young like you and would like to start doing some things on social media, but they're just like, I don't want to really be distracted? What's your advice to them?
Yeah, my advice to those people who are looking down on social media, I would say maybe they are not educated. Yeah, so if you're having any business, you think you need to go from one place to another before you can sell, man, you are wasting your strength, you are wasting your time. So just try and go to Instagram, Facebook, create an account, a business page, and start selling your goods. You get people to buy. You understand?
Thank you so much.
And before I go, see, when I don't base in Asaba. I came to Asaba, I just went to ShopRite. I was seeing a lot of girls wasting time outside. Look, they said they are doing prostitution. Man, social media too, and they can actually use it to sell their market too. You don't need to leave your home, coming to stand somewhere, and everybody will know that this is the kind of job you do. Go to social media. They have a lot of platforms. You can actually sell your body if you want to do. You understand?
Well, from the streets of Asaba, we've heard mixed views. Some people believe that social media is actually a great tool, while some others think that, it's a major distraction. Well, perhaps the real solution or the real question isn't about if social media is good or bad, but it's about how we choose to use it. My name is Rejoice Anusia, and this has been Street Talk on Delta Television.
J Male make it juicy.
every morning brings a new conversation.
From breaking stories to burning issues.
From 7:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Mondays to Fridays.
Join us on Morning Ride, where news meets insight and every voice matters.
Morning Ride is your daily dose of facts, truth, and perspective.
Morning Ride, where is this edition on the People's Pride? Well, I tell you one thing, when it comes to interview sections or segments, so to speak, I'm always concerned about it. What are we talking about? Who is my guest? How do we have a conversation that could be very well? But this time, I would relax. And I say that basically because I'm here with a family member. After all, I am a journalist. And this week, journalists have been converging. They have converged and still are converging for the NUJ Delta State Press Week. Indeed, on Sunday, I was in church with some other members of the Nigerian Journalists Delta State Council. Here is the organizing chairman, as well as the chairman of NUJ DBS Chapel, organizing chairman, NUJ Press Week 2025. Nobody else but Comrade Pere Botu. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Interestingly, he can't be on suit and tie like I am normally, but on native attire. He has to be on this polo shirt because they have been walking around the town really speaking loudly about the NUJ. First of all, I'll say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's bigger than we envisaged. Many of us are proud of you. We are glad to be in this system, and that's because of the things you have been doing. But which I have in this conversation, we are now in day 4 of this particular press week. How would you, on your own, I've assessed the journey a little bit, how would you on your own assess the journey so far?
Yes, I must say that it has been going very well. To be very honest, all of this we are doing now, we started planning less than 1 month to this time.
I thought it was.
We had some issues and the rest, so
yeah.
They had to stop us kind of midway to say we should wait, let them conclude that of 2024 in terms of report and the rest. Thank God that was done, and we had to kickstart, just kept the ball rolling. And it's been quite tough, but thank God how far we have gone. We said with first our team is task regimes and exchange unifications.
Yeah.
The role of the media and the business climate. It's very important because by next year, Nigerians will be seeing more of taxes. We have the petroleum tax that will be introduced that will kick off in January. You pay 10% of each liter or quantity you buy of fuel or any petroleum product. Yeah. And a lot of taxes, mostly by the federal government, road tax, and a lot of that that's coming up. So we just want to, inform the public, because that's our role, to inform, to educate, and also entertain, you understand, so that the public will be abreast. We are bringing keynote speakers. One is Joel Onuakpo, who was the former Revenue Board Chairman in Delta State here. He's a tax guru, and the rest will be analyzing. We have also some discussants, the Commissioner for Justice, we have some economists, and the rest that we'll be discussing on that day. First, we started with a Thanksgiving. First, we appreciate God. Yes. Because like I said in the interview, I said we bless God because throughout the year, we have not seen any, bad or negative concerning journalists in terms of maybe kidnapping or street threat or whatever like that. Thank God, even though the practicing climate may not be too friendly, but at least we have able to surmount the entire, year. Then on Monday, we did media visits to some selected, media houses, NTA, talking about Trend FM. Yesterday, we were also at DBS SOC General Manager. Then yesterday, we had a medical check, BP, blood sugar and some other kind of tests, just to know the status of our health and the rest. After that, we moved on. We did the road sensitization from Mira Baghdad Road to the state secretariat, and that we had the light refreshment. But today it's going to be big day. I'll just hope you there. You can play football.
No. I'm a critic. I don't play.
We play with members of the Nigeria
Medical Association.
Yeah. And in fact, they told us, they said, just be ready. We're going to spare journalists. So we're going to deal with you guys. The last time we played with them, it was quite hectic. Their own week. Quite hectic. Those guys are tough. You know that they have time for their recreational activities and the rest.
Yes.
So we're converging at the NT Asaba football field by 4 p.m. for the football match. Then tomorrow is the grand finale where we're expecting His Excellency, the governor of Delta State, Governor Cherry Foborowori. Then our national president too, Yahaya, will also be coming. Alassane will be coming today. We have a lot of people that will be coming from it. I've also given awards to some selected individuals who have also made their mark. But one of them that we're giving an award to, you'll be very shocked. It's Mr. Miracle Wando. Is a despatch official. He controls traffic by Cohen Plaza.
The dancing man.
Yes, you see that guy.
The dancing
doing
man.
his job so conscientiously. You understand?
Yes.
He'll be dancing, be controlling traffic, and the rest.
Sweating.
You understand?
Every morning.
We'll be giving that guy an award, and we'll also be adding some monetary this into just to encourage him and to say whatever you are doing, keep doing your best because people are watching you.
Talking about encouragement,
there will be a reward.
Talking about encouragement, you also went to the orphanage.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
That looks very golden.
Yes,
everybody talking about the journalists and the rest of them, the free health check, but then the orphanage.
When I went there yesterday, I said to myself, I said, my children are privileged. One, because of my life, even though I may not be rich or whatever like that, but I'll be able to take care of them.
Yes.
But look at children here. People have dedicated themselves, reverend sisters and the rest, taking care of children who they don't even know, possibly their parents and the rest. I saw some guys who are going to let me there. I was shocked and the rest. They prayed for us, they sang, and they are so happy.
Yes.
They are so happy. Yet we are afraid, we will keep complaining and the rest like that. And I think, in fact, it's a call to Nigerians. Even when you see a carton of Indomie, you have, even when you see a bag of salt, it's something you have, just go and just drop. Even with let's try to assist the less privileged among us. It's quite important. And to be very frank, we've not done this before. all of this we are doing is novel.
Including the health screening.
Because most times they just say the press week, whereas it's just a day for lectures and award. But we said, no, let us stretch it and let us make impact in the society. And by tomorrow, you're very sure, for the first time too, there'll be a coastal bus tomorrow in Warri that will pick people from Warri, Saple, Ugele, and Isoko as journalists, and Kwale to convey them down to the hotels. And thereafter, you will also take them, back to their various chapters and levels.
This is one interview that I take personally because, like I said, this is a family conversation, which you're privileged to see right here on State Television. Now, basically, there was also health screening, which I heard was successful. What were some of the things that you noticed that you said, indeed, this was cultural, this was quite important after all?
While the test was going on, one of our members, I will not mention it because medical things, you don't need to mention that. And after they did that blood sugar, they just said, madam, just sit down here. If you step out in the next 30 minutes or whatever, you just numb. I said, just sit down. Your blood sugar is so high. She didn't even know. We had to rush to go and get medications and the rest. Thank God she took and she was stabilized. And also for one other man, almost the same thing too. You understand? So it also calls for the need for us to also be taking care of our health. Let's check our health. Let's engage in exercises. No matter how little you sit, if it's 30 minutes, 10 minutes, engage on it regularly. And you see, health, they say health is wealth. If you have health, you have everything. Because when you have health, you have hope. If you're not healthy, you'll not be in the studio this morning now. You will not be around.
Right.
But also health of the mind.
Yes.
Let us free our mind.
And many of us sometimes can be asymptomatic, like the lady you talked about.
Yes.
She probably wouldn't even know or notice any symptom.
Yes. And she would just join us in the road before you know she just
that would have been a tragedy.
Before you just try to resuscitate her and it will be still for another day.
That's a great testimony there. I could call you Pastor Terrible too for that miracle there. Done just through common sense and simple love. Beautiful one. Now let's talk about the theme of this year's event. I'm going to ask you a journalist twisting question, basically as relates to the theme, as well as things you've mentioned. Tax regimes and exchange rate unification, economic implications and media strategic role. How does it align with these humanitarian areas you've just spoken about?
You see, all of us, we also have our economic status in the society. It is the money I have that I can spend, right? So if the policies of either the federal or state government do not favor my own level, it will affect me economically.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
If, for instance, now my salary will remain fixed maybe for the next 3 years or whatever, and you understand that maybe school fees has been increased by 30%, house rent by 30% now, and that means I will have to now go to whenever I've saved or whatever. You know, I try to struggle myself, so it's going to affect me economically. And you know that we all go to the same market.
Yes.
Whether you're governor, whether you're president, whether you're civil servant, we all go to the same market. But what we are used to chase the goods and services is not the same. Somebody in the House of Reps was saying is saying about 29 million naira monthly. And what am I earning? And my wife and his wife, we go to the same market. Madam, give me a cup of rice. He was give me one bag of rice. So it's not the same thing.
Yes.
So we're trying to be, so we're trying to prepare the minds of the people to say next year there will be new tax regimes. You know that also the exchange rate is also going up, coming down gradually, but it is not also fixed. But there's a correlation between tax regimes and the exchange rate. You understand? People who work abroad, for instance, now if your friend gives you $500, that's close to $1 million a year. You understand? But you go to your village and give someone $500, you say, I better take. What do you mean? It doesn't make sense to him.
That's for one soda. I can call it a mineral.
For a bottle of soft drink or something.
Yes.
You understand? Because we don't just take topics, we look at topics that are national, you know, that are broad-based, you know, that can be discussed, analyzed, and people will now see the reason to prepare their minds and the rest. Because next year, I can tell you, also remember that next year also be kind of a prelude to the electionary, the general election 2027. So a lot of focus will be shifted from infrastructure, will be shifted from all of these things. That focus will be on how to get party, you know, nominations and how to win elections by the next year.
Okay. Now, what strategic role does the NUJ expect its members to play when it comes to these themes, exchange rate, unification, and the rest of them?
Yes, first, that's what we are doing.
Yes.
Now, by bringing a team of discussants, there will be a lecturer who will, keynote speaker, who will discuss all this. Like I said earlier, we have an economist, we have media expert, we also have the Attorney General, because all these things are going to be laws. And so if you fault, you can be sanctioned. You understand? For us now, our own tax is pay as you go, pay as you earn, pay as you earn. So I don't even know that I pay tax, but if you check your pay slip, there's pay that you pay tax. But there are also some other person, you see that can be in a vehicle or maybe tricycle or whatever like that, and they just stop there. They say you don't buy ticket for today. The man will say no, say park. Faulted. Say they are faulted. That's also a form of tax because the union also pays tax back to the state government. And once that tax of keke, now they pay 200 naira per day. If it's increased to 1,000 naira, that means your own transport fare will also increase. And your landlord to my keke transport don't increase. Let me also increase my house rent. The woman who is selling now in the market will also increase her goods and services.
All right. Now, the grand opening lecture awards on Thursday seems to be the high point.
Yes.
Tell us what makes this year's edition very unique.
Yes,
I know about the award for that dancing.
Yes,
more.
We also have an award for smart person, just like the Vice Chancellor of the University of Delta, Agbo. That woman has done tremendously, you know, well. We then also have an award for Chief Omo Yibo, you know, an engineer also from Isoko, who is an entrepreneur, and part of that is also a philanthropist. He has built houses for people, he's assisted in refugee areas. So that these are some selected persons that we are giving, you know, awards. So, and of course, the governor will be conferred with the grand patron of the NUJ.
That will be very important.
Yes, because that was the order for national for the national leadership that all governors of the state should be given that award so that they can support the union, they can support them in terms of carrying out activities so that they can also disseminate information back, you know, to the public. So what we have today, we have not seen it before. And we are doing okay. Some persons say, "You have a press center," but because of the array of dignitaries we are expecting. You know, our president we don't have a lot of parking space and but for Kidote, it's quite big and the hall is also quite big to be able to accommodate everybody that will be coming. And we're not just doing for law, we're also inviting professional bodies, the NIPRO, NNA, NBA, all of them like that. We're all Nigerians. Come, let us do this.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now let's talk about this this whole great meeting now. How has leadership and support of the national president and the state chairman of the NUJ, Comrade Choloyowe, how has it helped, you know, for this press week? Because I know you're the one who has carried all this matter on your shoulders.
Yes. And the truth is that I'm the chairman, but the state chairman, Comrade Choloyowe, is also a member of the he's a member of the committee. We have 2 members of the state working committee as part of the press week committee. And we have the leadership and the membership rather from different chapels, you know, spread across the entire, you know, state. And we are working tenaciously. We are working very hard to ensure and have a successful program. Planning a program is not very easy.
Yeah.
It's not so very easy. If you don't believe that, I've been praying. Because I believe in prayer, I believe in God, I'm praying.
Yeah.
So I'll make it a huge success. Make it a huge of God. Sometimes you remember the Bible now, a rich man cooked food, prepared for a party, and said that people will come and eat with me, and nobody came say, okay, go to the edges, go to the aisle, just invite them, anybody, because I have cooked for people, and they're not coming, they're giving excuses. So let me give to street people and the rest.
So has that been the challenge of the program so far?
Yes. Before now, sometimes some people, like I was telling my chairman, I say, each time we're facing a program like this again, we should not do it towards the end of the year, because a lot of persons have a lot of engagement at this particular period of the year. We'll be looking at first or second quarter of the new year to do such kind of programs where people can be freer and the rest of it to attend. It's also a call for members to also come, because I've been praying, because if you have an engagement, for instance, say the president is visiting Delta State tomorrow, for instance, now to commission a project or to flag off a project, whatever like that, journalists will need to go there to cover. They will abandon this program and go for that, because the editor will tell you, well, say press week and you are no. You understand?
All right.
So all of that affects sometimes attendance to our programs.
NUJ, the press, and they work a whole lot, they do a whole lot, but then public perception about the press has not been on the high lately.
Why do you say so?
Because there's distrust of journalists basically all around. People do not believe. They say journalists either speak for the government or have their biases, so there's lack of trust for journalists. Is this press we're going to address this issue, or what other issues is the press we're going to address? So
yes, I was on my chairman. I said we need to organize a conference so that we can talk to ourselves. Now we invite a lot of persons from the outside. We'll be able to see all of those things that we want to say when we are, alone. Then talking about maybe gagging the press or whatever like that. I believe strongly that you don't have a totally free press anywhere in the world. CNN is owned by a businessman. BBC is owned by the British government. This station is owned by the state government. We have all of them. Even our president, he has so many stations. Both print and electronic, even radio, Max Radio, and the rest. It's owned by him. Those persons will not come out to come and castigate him and the rest, but we can castigate other persons. You understand?
So how does this help the
but for you,
audience?
Do your job the way you ought to do it. That's why you see a lot of persons, snowballing or kind of trafficking towards social media, because that seems to be a platform where people freely express themselves. You understand? I have my own page, for instance. You have your own page. You can freely come and express yourself, but don't forget also that there's a new law that's been amended talking about cybercrime, cyberbullying, and the rest. You can be arrested. If I go to my page, for instance, and I say, Francis, and I start abusing you, you will just screenshot whatever. You can sue me for cyberbullying.
Okay, so how can the journalists navigate through all of these? Because while in school, this was not the narrative we were told. We were told that we have to come. We were told to be neutral at all points, maintain no bias. But then, if you go higher in education, as far as journalism is concerned, realize that indeed what you said is apt. Every media house has their own interests. But then how can journalists help, regardless of this, ensuring that the populace, the people, the audience gets information that is pruned to truth?
Our role is enshrined in 1999 Constitution as amended, right? With the era where we have people like Delegiwa and co, who are based doing investigative journalism, you'll be shocked. They can just, let us come and unearth what is happening in this local community area. And they will go down there. You may not even know them. You understand? They will come and they will do all the investigation. And when they come out, they will tamper-proof. What they have done will be exactly what is on ground. But for some other persons, you have limitations. There are some stories that they may not want, your management may not want you to use that medium to air. And the social media seem to have stolen that show away from us now. But you also know, like in all medias and the other, that we have editors, we have gatekeepers, gatekeepers, right? So even if I bring a report now, it won't just go on air. It has to pass about 2 or 3 decks before it can go on air. But for social media, it is not like that. This is online publishers. It's just a one-man.
So should the audience sell to social media?
Yes. It's just a one-man business. It's what they like. You remember that somebody was arrested or he was using a platform to insult or whatever like that. He was arrested and
you can be held for defamation.
It's still on.
So that means there's so much role for train and retrain of journalists.
Yes. We even did that the other time during our Congress where we invited CSP invited that and he came to talk on that. And I think, in fact, at our own level, we need to organize that so that people can be abreast, people can know what is really happening, because our profession is changing. So we need also change.
You can say that.
Tide.
Yeah. So as a chairman of the 2025 Press Week, what do you want this particular program to be remembered for? How do you want to be remembered after tomorrow is done?
I want it to be a novel. I want particular Press Week to be the best ever. I'm a child of God. Very clear. The parts of the jaws is like sham, battle and battle to a perfect. There's no better here yesterday. So the one that they did yesterday or many years ago is past. But this year's one should be to surmount every other one that I've done in the past. And what we'll do next year should be to surmount this one. That's how you see that people improve. Not like when we are finished by next year's one will not be like something else. You understand? Right. So let's go into advance, go into progress. I also call on members. We have our 17 chapters across the state for members. Our membership is 500 plus. 500 plus. Here we have about some of us as members. Here, you understand? We want them to come out, so they come and join celebration. We just have 1 week in the entire year, 52 weeks. We'll just have one for ourselves. So let's celebrate ourselves, and the rest.
I wish you all the best. I see that road walk, beautiful. I just saw my colleagues there, very energetic.
Cheesy, Vale, Luciayo, Bridget Agetu. In fact, they all came out because, as chairman of this chapter, my guys, they came out to support me, and I'm so impressed. So impressed.
All right. The prayer is very simple. If I could summarize your prayer, you want this year's edition of the Press Week to be the best ever, and yet to be the least for years to come.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Comrade Perebutu, Chairman NUJ DBS Chapel, and he is the chairman of the NUJ Delta State Council Press Week for the year 2025. Congratulations already in advance and for what you have done so far.
I hope to see you there.
I hope to go, but I don't think I'll be wearing any shin guards to play football or boots. I don't think so. I think I'll ruin your team. I don't think. But yes, we are calling on everybody, all journalists. If you are a journalist, you should be at the NTA field today and you should be part of it, except you're on duty, of course. That is understandable. But then go out there and be part of the Press Week.
Our keeper is CUI.
Oh, okay. Cyril will be one of our president directors.
We have Erusiayo, we have Alex Afodu, and a lot of them from DBS that will playing on our side.
All right, so I'm going to challenge the producer, Odume Yarowe, the president director, Ufoma, everybody. Go out there, play football today, win for DBS Chapel, and let's see if we can come out victorious. Because the medical association might go on strike, but they will strike DBS Chapel. They strike NUJ if they don't play very well. Thank you for being part of Morning Ride Wednesday edition. We end on this very glamorous, happy note because it's NUJ Press Week. It's my week, and I say you have yourself a lovely day ahead. My name is Francis Ofulue. Good morning and goodbye on Wednesday's Morning Ride.